So I just wanted to talk about a video that I made in the car the other night in Tesco car park. I wanted to just kind of, do a bit more on that. I was just talking about the world being sick, and that we never stop to really look at how bad everything is and how abnormal we are. Like we think the world is a great, what we're doing is normal and it's right, but it's not. Um, Everything is go, go, go. Everything is rushed. Like we all have to get a car, a nice fancy car so we can drive ourselves to work. Then work pays for that fancy car that we can't afford. Um, and then we're trying to provide for our kids that we hardly ever see, and a wife that we never see either, who then falls out of love with us. And I have a very bad taste of marriage because everyone I've seen really, their marriages, even if they're together, their marriage is shit. They hate each other by the looks of it. They despise each other. My own parents got divorced, and then marriages I've seen that where there hasn't been a divorce. With my grandparents, my dad's side, they're the only ones I got to see really. They despised each other. That was a really shit situation. And then everyone on my dad's side, their marriages have no emotion in them whatsoever. It's just basically an acquaintance, if even. They can't stand each other. Or they've had affairs, and just think to yourself, all the things we consider normal, people just being miserable. Like it always baffled me how you were supposed to go to school, even though you hated it, and you didn't learn anything really. Like I often thought to myself, now that I'm going around the house trying to repair stuff, why don't we do something like that? Like home economics for women, where they teach them how to cook and how to sew and all that sort of thing. Why not do a class? Like I know you do woodwork, but I did woodwork in fourth year and we were just literally throwing bits of wood at each other. And I was trying to make a T square and a birdhouse. I was actually doing a good job, and then I remember using my chisel and I broke through a bit of wood because I wasn't paying attention, and then I just cracked through and I was like, for fuck! I started smashing the old up. So my carpentry career ended there. But you ever think about it, like especially over here in Ireland? I don't know what it's like everywhere else, but we've been talking about how bad the leaving cert is for young people's mental health for years. Not that anything ever gets done about it. Like I remember saying I wanted to learn Irish, I wanted to be fluent in Irish to my Irish teacher in sixth year, and she said, "Oh yeah, that's great. Now learn these sentences. You don't need to know them off by heart or even understand what they mean. You just need to be able to regurgitate them onto a page." That's literally how you're taught. Go through sentence after sentence, and then listening to my mate who was doing history. He was told that you had to have, jeez, what was it? It was something mad, like the amount of pages of writing that he had to have for each answer, like 5 pages, um, for each answer. Sorry, getting bad acid reflux again. Yeah, trying that cream, the Betnovate, but as I say, my skin's bad. But I remember him saying for each answer you had to have at least 5 pages for history, or you'd be marked down instantly, and you're kind of just going, what if the content you have is good enough and it's sufficient and it concisely says what you're saying, that it doesn't matter, you'd be marked down anyway. And I didn't do history for the leaving cert, even though I do like history, but I just thought to myself, it's not what I wanted to be doing. I often just found to myself, why the fuck do we prioritise everything in school the way we do? Do you remember anything after school? I've barely used anything since I left, being honest. I just wanted to get the fuck out as soon as I could. I understand it builds character and you have to go. And I'm not saying don't go, but I'm saying change the way it's done. Like, everyone hammered home, you need to go to school, you need to get a good leaving certificate so that you can go to college and get a good job. And I'm just kind of thinking to myself, I was very fortunate that I didn't have to pay for college, but I'm hearing a lot of people who did feel like they wasted their lives. And if you look at over in the States and in the UK, a lot of people are still paying back student loans. So you take out a loan for college so you can pay for college so you can get a job that'll pay back your student loans. Doesn't that seem a bit counterproductive? And you're always in debt. Heard something about a medical student in the US, like having to pay back student loans for 10 years or something like that. And any Americans in the comments, feel free to let me know. But isn't that just insane? And everybody always said to me, you'll amount to nothing without a college degree. You know, you will be nothing. And my dad, who was an electrician, said, you will be nothing without a college degree. Go to college. But then as soon as it comes around, it's like, no, get a trade. And it's like, okay, tried that, didn't like it. Got a chance to go to college for free. Then all of a sudden he's like, oh, no, that's a Mickey Mouse course. You'll amount to nothing but that. And then has the audacity to tell me at the end of it, I honestly didn't think you'd be able for it. And I was like, cheers, now that I've got it, you really know how to make a gal feel special. But I fucking did it, and I'm delighted with myself for doing it. But you suffer through college, and you do. Like, look, I gained a shit ton of weight. Felt dreadful about myself. I didn't feel great to begin with, but I felt fucking woeful. Struggled to go in some days, you know, and my anxiety was through the roof. I was never one for doing all nighters, but I certainly stayed up later than I should have done, and was missing out on some sleep, which is not uncommon for students, and then a lot of cramming for exams. And sometimes you have to, because we had like 3 lab reports every week, and lab reports had to be, you know, intense. They had to be very concise. They had to be very detailed, and especially as you went into your 4th year, you had to do so much detail. So you weren't studying. You didn't have time. Like, your lab reports were the main thing. So you weren't studying for CAs, we called them, class assignments, which went towards your final grade, and like that could really boost your grade if you didn't do so well in the final exam. Do you know what I mean? But you struggle all the way through college. And then we literally had one of the lecturers bring us in and go, what careers are available with this degree? DNA and forensic analysis is what I studied. And I was like, oh, well, forensic toxicologist. Yeah, great. What else? Forensic pathologist. Great. Ah, come on, lads. You're not thinking. It's like, why don't you fucking tell us? You know, ah, come on. We were all so apathetic because we honestly didn't see a future in it, you know. And I'm speaking to a lot of people now who just have kind of dead end jobs, even with the degree. But we never really did any essential work of where to go with it and what to do. You know, like, I was told you had to go to college here to amount to nothing. Now everybody's saying, oh, you should have gone and get a trade and blue collar. And I'm just like, fuck off. What is it? You know, a lot of people only say you need to get a trade because they need people in a trade. Anyone I spoke to who's in a trade says, yeah, you know, I was only joking about this with my brother the other day. Me and my brother worked some awful jobs, you know. It's just scraping fucking slugs off a barrel, just digging holes for different people, mixing cement, cleaning out workshops for them, hoovering stairs on an active construction site, which makes fuck all sense. It's just a waste of time, really. It's degrading, and it's a horrible place to be. A lot of construction sites are fucking horrible to be on. And a lot of these pricks saying, oh, just get a trade, you know, young people are lazy, they need to just work harder. It's like, you go onto a fucking construction site, the irony being that a lot of them would never go on a construction site, and they certainly wouldn't tell their children to do it, but they'll speed you into it. Anyone I've ever respected on a construction site, when we finished for the day and we were exhausted, you know what they said to me? They were like, what's the plan? When you finish school, lad, like, what's the idea? Like, what are you gonna do? And I was there going, well, there's an open day for IT Taller, Technological University Dublin as it is now, but I was saying there's an open day, and I was like, I've been offered a course, DNA and forensic analysis, and he was like, oh yeah, that sounds great, you know, go for that. And I was like, oh yeah, but I'm not sure if I get a grant for it, I might have to pay. And he was like, ah, look, if you have to pay, so be it. Now, as it worked out, I got the grant, it was really good, but he was saying to me, do not do this shit for the rest of your life. I'm doing this 25 plus years, and I fucking hate it, you know, I'm miserable. I hardly ever see my kids. My back is broken, my knees are in bits. Can't imagine, like, he had rheumatoid arthritis on his site, you know, he's bending down and his knees were killing him, his elbows were killing him. And yeah, you tell me if you want to end up like that for the rest of your life. I certainly don't. I know somebody has to do it, but it's not going to be me. That type of work should be appreciated, but it's not. it's ridiculous, and we all work our arses off to pay for stuff to make our lives more convenient, but then we're not happy in the job that we have. We're miserable going to work every day. We're trying to provide for people that we never see, even though we love them. We don't see them because we're off at work all day. And you see marriages breaking up all the time. You see people being so fucking difficult to deal with. Especially nowadays. I just think to myself, going out and seeing young women, they're so dramatic. Everything is drama with them. It's a pain in the arse trying to keep up. I know not all women are bad, I'm not saying that, but fuck me. They make every situation into a drama. It's like, did you really say that to me or what? And they're going, what? They just want to get offended by everything. And you can see them with a young fella that they love henpecking him all the time and giving out to him. They love it, they love giving him grief all the fucking time. And it's like, why the fuck do you two even go out? I'm genuinely thinking it sometimes when I'm out. I'm like, why the fuck do you two go out and see each other? Waste your fucking time. You're miserable together. Fuck me, like it's so confusing. You're just there kind of going to yourself, like, you obviously fucking hate each other. You're always arguing at each other's throats. Like, even being out there on a night out at the weekend, I knew two of the girls that I was going out to meet up with, and I knew one of the fellas. But it was gas because it was even one of the girls that was at the party who was friends with the girl having it. Her boyfriend was sitting there with them, and he was working in the bar where we were sitting, and he finished his shift and he came over and was sitting obviously next to the girls, and then he went, fuck this is boring, and he came over and was like, this table's more crack. Because, like, I'll talk to anyone. I don't give a shit. I'll chat to anyone. I'll find a common ground with anybody. Like, the football was on. Celtic were playing St Mirren. There was one of the lads there I didn't know, but I could see he was watching the football. So, like, what do you think of the football? Do you think Liam Scales should start? And I had a trusty. Anyone who follows football will know what I mean. But Liam Scales is a great defender. I don't know why he doesn't start for Celtic. Brodge, you need to do better. Put Scales in the team, and Adam Ida as well. Both of them deserve to start. Shame on you. Brodge. Brendan Rodgers for anyone. But all the young ones were doing all night was going into the toilet, like young ones taking pictures in front of the toilet, and I'm there kind of going, the lads never do that, like when some fella's taking a big fat smelly shite in the toilet, or some fella pissing into your urinal. You don't see lads taking pictures and, posing or fucking pouting, getting their fucking leg up on the sink. That always baffled me about young ones, and I don't know, is that just an Irish and an English thing? Let me know. But going in, just doing that while we're actually having a laugh and a chat, and then, like, you just listen to a few of the young ones, and then one of them just looking for attention, going, lads, I am so drunk, and then nobody says anything, and she says, like, lads, I am so fucking drunk, and then you're like, okay, grand, and then she says, lads, I'm so fucking drunk, oh my god, like, really looking for us to go, haha, that's gas, yeah, you're drunk, so what? Like, just a real attention seeking behaviour now that we see. The way the fucking world works baffles me. And I always thought to myself that I wanted to be in a relationship. It's something that I desperately wanted. Yeah, like it is, but not if that's the fucking thing that I'm getting. I'd rather be fucking single, to be honest with you, because it's exhausting, and if that's what you're providing for, fuck off. I'm not doing that. I feel like we're not comfortable enough in our own skin, and that's something that I've worked on a lot, which I'm very grateful for, but I feel like sometimes genuinely I'd be better off single, because modern relationships are a fucking disaster. You just see see a lad with he's being henpecked by his girlfriend, and he's a coward. He doesn't really believe in anything. He doesn't care about anything except getting sex. That's all he cares about. He loves being able to moan about, the missus is on to me again, and I better do that to keep her happy. And it's like, Why are you with her then? You're only a young fella. Why the fuck do you stay with her? Does that all get your hole and that's it? I know it's a bit of a crowd way of saying it, but get your hole, get your dick wet, whatever you want to say. But it always amazed me how much value lads put on sex, and that's something that you can be controlled and manipulated by it, and you can be manipulated so easily. You're young and you're starting off by being used and abused and manipulated just because you're a horny little prick. quite, quite definitely. It's ironic, isn't it? But you want to get you want to get your hole, and you'll pay loads just to keep some girl that you don't even like happy. It just really baffles me. And even when there's a girl that I went on a date with that I didn't like, lads would say to me afterwards, "Would you not just get your hole off her and then leave her?" I'm just going like, "No, because I've got some common decency as a human being." But that's how a lot of people work. I'm the weirdo. I'm the weirdo for thinking that way. And if I said that out loud, I'd be called all sorts of names. Like, I was never one that believed in just working a dead end job I hated to buy a load of shit, material shit to make me happy. Don't get me wrong, I liked Air Max runners and Hollister clothes, and Jack and Jones is my favourite, by the way, and Superdry. But it's also superficial, isn't it? It really is. Like, the way we live is not normal. I don't care what anyone says, it's sick the way we live. I see people like starting off their day exhausted, having a can of Red Bull and a cigarette, and then going for a McDonald's breakfast, and that's how they live every day. And you're like, you are making yourself so fucking sick. And that's just normalised. Sure, geez, I've never done that, but certainly were a lot of days like when I was working early in the morning where I would go and get a McDonald's breakfast, which is fucking amazing. But so I'd get my McMuffin and I'd get my hash brown. It's making my mouth water just even saying this. I'd have a cup of coffee with it, and I know that's not healthy, but it's better than having a can of Red Bull and a cigarette on top of that. I try and stay off the energy drinks now because they are bad for the ticker. I know, yeah, I'm young, but still, you want to be looking after this stuff now. Do you know what I mean? But working a job all week that you despise so that you can get shit faced at the weekend, what is the fucking point? It's gonna catch up with you eventually. And then being in a relationship that you don't even want to be in, that you fucking hate the person, but yet you stay in it because that's the done thing, that's the norm. You can't imagine being single. Like I've been single by choice, just not my choice. Everyone else's. But then I was like, oh, I'm missing out. I need to be in a relationship. I need to do that. Then when I actually go on dates, I'm like, Jesus, it's so exhausting. Trying to keep up with everything and trying not to offend people all the fucking time. Because people are so stupid, they get offended by anything, and they're so fucking easily triggered. It's like they want to be offended so they can bitch and cry about something. And I found that a lot, particularly with young women, and I'm going to say it again, it's true. Like female friends of mine who have boyfriends, and they'll text me asking for my advice. And whenever I offer genuine solutions that they could actually achieve, they just ghost me. I show genuine concern, and I'm like, I don't like the way he's treating you. I feel like you should do something. Or I was like, I could do something. And then they're like, no, 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 you stay out of it. It's none of your business. And I was like, it's none of my business. Why are you telling me? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is none of my business, but you've literally just told me about it, and you want my advice, and then I give you my advice, you bite my head off. I think you just love the fucking drama. Like when you see people, it's like, no, you stop, stop. Oh my god, you're such a pig. And they're saying, I'm never going out with you again, and all this, but they end up back together. People nowadays love drama, and they're kind of like, I just want fucking peace. I can't keep up with all the rules people set and all the fucking trends. And nor will I. I'm not chasing a relationship anymore like I used to. That's the only reason that I went to nightclubs. I'm after realising I fucking hate them. But I thought, oh, there's a young one there that I like, and like I'll probably end up going to some nightclubs in the future. I probably will, but they've never been my go-to place. Well, they have, just that I wanted to go there. Fucking hated them, but I went anyway. And I've had good nights in them, don't get me wrong, but I feel rough afterwards. I feel very fucking rough. Um, in my old age, drinking. I try and keep it to a minimum now, you know. He says as he goes out one weekend and he's going out another. But that's going to be lighter, you know. The lifestyle that I want to live hasn't got much place for binge drinking all the time, so I won't be doing that. But yeah, look, I feel like a lot of people are going their own way, and for good reason. You know, we are not living a healthy way. Everyone is so stressed. Heart disease is going up. Divorce is going up. I mean, those two are obviously related, right? Um, Unhappy relationships, unhappy marriages. You know, misery, depression. Like you think to yourself, this should be the best time to be alive. It really should, you know, with all our advances and everything. But it's not. Why? Because we're saying that everyone has to maximise productivity and people aren't just hiring you based off the fact that you show some fucking competence. You have to have 6 years of experience, but I'm just out of college. Oh yeah, well, you know, you should have been working harder to get that experience. You're like, how was that achievable? And the gas thing is that a lot of these jobs are postgraduate, meaning you've just graduated. How the fuck are you supposed to have all these years of experience if you're a postgraduate? I'm going to that job fair tomorrow and fingers crossed, touch wood, that I'll get something. um, but I'm not holding out much hope, put it that way, but look, can't fucking hurt, can it? I'm looking abroad as well because not having much luck in Ireland, you know. And if I have to go abroad, it'd be a great opportunity to see a different country and live a different lifestyle. So you never know, could be fun. Um, might even move somewhere else in Ireland. Which would be interesting as well. You know, just moving out again. And I moved out last job I had, but just didn't work out. You know. Um, but yeah, sure we'll see. But look, guys, as you said in the other video talking about how we live is not normal or right. Don't feel like you have to meet certain rules or norms because let me tell you, those norms are not good. The system that we have currently is sick and it's making people ill. You know, people are working jobs where they're underappreciated, under resourced, understaffed, underpaid as well, especially for the fucking cost of living crisis that we have. The employers expect a lot of experience for a shitty role with terrible pay, lack of appreciation, lack of training, lack of competence from a lot of people. And what I've noticed as well in a lot of jobs is if you show competence, you used to be rewarded for that. I found that people will go, oh, well, you're competent and nobody else is, so you're going to take on 5 times as much work to pick up for them being useless. How the fuck does that even work? Should I be incompetent as well? Oh. Anyway, guys, this is exhausting me even saying it, and I'll need to go to bed soon to get up early for that jobs fest. So I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.